you walking like that?
That's just what she does.
Go.
I can't wait till y'all have kids. And they mess up all your stuff and break everything
Right.
all the time.
And hitting cameras.
And hitting cameras, walking in front of microphones. Yeah, man, I was talking to somebody. I just want to leave it anonymous.
Okay.
I don't want to say who it was, but you kind of see this a little bit in the comments. But they were like, "Yo, I like what you're doing and all, but I checked out your twice reaction. That wasn't for real, man. like you really feeling it like that? You know what I'm saying? Like he really said that. Like, you really feeling it like that? Like,
so what you put on the show?
Apparently so. Like, I know you, man. We grew up, listening to DMX and, like, yeah. But I also listen to everything.
Yeah.
Growing up, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I've always been a fan of everything.
Yeah.
And listening to a lot of different music. I credit video games a lot to that. Because my parents, they listen to a lot of R&B. But video games kind of opened my eyes up to wave music.
Yep.
And some alternative rock music. I remember like what show was that used to come in the morning before you got on a bus on MTV? You remember what it was called? 1080p?
Show before you got on the bus.
Yeah, it was like 6 in the morning before you get on the bus. It was an MTV show, and I would always catch Alanis Morissette, playing on there. And like, you don't remember?
I can't remember the name of it.
But you know what I'm talking
I know
about.
what you're talking about, yeah.
And we would see Alanis Morissette, and You Ought to Know, and I love Ironic, and you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like this thing.
It wasn't
like
no MTV jams or nothing.
Nah,
Yeah,
jams didn't run that early.
Okay, that's what I was thinking about.
But it's just like this whole stigma, like, you ain't black because you was listening to that. You know what I'm saying?
You think that's why you said that?
I know that's part of the vibe. Like, he's like, that's not what I'm trying to say. It's just like,
yeah.
but at the same time, it's like, that's the energy, you know what I'm saying, that it is. Because it's just like, it was like that when, I don't know how it was when y'all was in school, but when I was in school, it was similar to that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you had the cool kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did any of the cool kids listen to, like,
One type of
Aerosmith?
No.
It's like you damn near got kicked out of that cool club if you even knew anything about Aerosmith. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, I couldn't go to that cool table and be like, bruh, that Final Fantasy VII? Like, they'd be like, I don't know what that is. I don't play video games.
No.
Basketball and football.
I mean, it was different for me. I was at the nerd table a lot. Mm-hmm. So we'll talk about all that. But if I was going to my other camp of friends, you know how you got the certain days you sit at this table.
Sectors.
You said nerds.
Cliques.
Yeah, the cliques. You sit at this table. I ain't gonna bring Final Fantasy up at the cool table.
You can't do it.
I'm gonna bring up like I don't know, Jay-Z or something like that. Everybody's talking about. Or Clips. Yeah, that was the thing. Clips, everybody's talking about that. But no, you can't bring up no Final Fantasy.
Nah, I was in the cool community. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I remember, what song did I like? What was that? 1,000 Miles?
Oh, Vanessa Carlson.
For real?
I mean, that's that fire, bro.
It's fire, yeah.
I remember I was so excited when I heard it. I was like, bro, I never heard nothing like this before. And I was about to tell my people. And then right before I told them, about to tell them, they was like, bro, you heard that little piano song, bro? That was the stupidest thing I ever heard in my life. I was like, yeah, man, that's stupid, man.
Yeah, and see,
until White Chicks came out, right? Until White Chicks came out.
That's a perfect example of what you catch yourself doing. Because it's just like, you don't want to be that guy.
Nah.
That's like, what you talking about, man? That song hot. So me, you're like, yeah, man, that song whack. Nah. And you thinking in your head like, shit, man, I thought that song was pretty dope. You know?
Nah, I'd be the guy that would be like, bruh. So like in school, I was pretty much known as Music Man.
Okay.
Because like, everybody knew if there was an album out, I had it.
Yeah.
Or, you know what I'm saying? Especially when it came to hip hop and R&B. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I would let people borrow stuff. And if you wanted to know something, you want a lyric, hey, what they say in the song, and I give you the lyric. Be like, yeah, you always know that stuff. But you know, like you said, it was like I didn't necessarily purchase a lot of music outside of hip hop and R&B initially. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But then my friend FTG put me on Queen because it was like I knew who Queen was, but I didn't know who Queen was. Like I knew the music, I didn't know the group.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Aerosmith, I knew the music, didn't know which group was responsible for it. You know what I'm saying? I definitely knew the voices because the voices are really unique. But it was just like I kind of floated around tables too. I get what you're saying because like I didn't always sit at the same table, but I just find it like, bruh, it's 2021 and people are still acting like their identity is attached to a certain thing. Like, so if I listen to K-pop, that like if you know me, I listen to music in general
across the board.
So why adding K-pop to it? I can listen to DMX rap about shooting everybody in the room, and then turn around and listen to Twice singing about alcohol free. Like, bro, what's the problem with that?
Yeah.
I don't feel like there should be any problem with that. I could listen to Eminem talk about raping rabbits. I'm just speaking hypothetically. I'm not being serious.
Yeah.
And then I can listen to, Red Velvet talk about psychos. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think it's a certain. I don't know what it is. I will say it's interesting because I feel like certain stigmas are starting to change.
Oh yeah.
Because of popularity, and
it's cool to play video games now.
Exactly. So it's just
anime,
like it used to be so whack if you like anime and video games, specifically anime. Because if you like anime, you was weird. But now in 2021, it's cool to be a nerd. It's the next. It's the big thing. It's cool, and it's like you still get some people that's kind of like, oh, you like that stuff. But for the most part, it's acceptable now. So do you think that can be the change with K-pop? Because I can see that starting slowly, especially with the success of groups like BTS and everybody else in the U.S. But do you think it ever get to the point where it's just like, oh, y'all like that now? We've been on it. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. Yeah. And if it does happen, it's gonna happen from some Korean rappers. It's not gonna happen from the pop side.
Yeah.
Well, maybe.
Just because think about it.
Do you think that's the thing, that it was a pop song that he was just like, bro, you like that? Do you think that's why?
This is the same person that was in love with Spice Girls Wannabe.
First of all,
this is the same. No.
The song is fire.
The song is fire. I had to bring this up to him though.
Yeah.
You're the same person that loved Wannabe from Spice Girls. Yeah. You're the same person that wanted me to listen to Achy Breaky Heart. You can't judge the alcohol free with your resume. Like you've liked other music as well. You just don't want to admit to it right now.
Yeah.
You're not seeing it, and then what the thing was is like, how do you understand what they're saying? Like, bro, did you not see us with the subtitles on? We had the subtitles on, and on top of that, I listened to Sean Paul. What the fuck does he be saying?
Sean Paul.
What does Sean Paul be saying? Do you know the lyrics to the song?
Just give me the trees.
You know the words.
I mean, it takes amount of you gotta really pay attention. But I get what you're saying. When you first hearing it, you like. So
if we threw on Mad Cobra right now, Flex. That's Mad Cobra, right? I know, but no. What's the words?
Look, I know
it's
the
a vibe.
I know the chorus.
You know the chord. Exactly my point. If we threw on Selena right now, is that shit? Is that not fire?
And that is not how you say it.
It's in Spanish. But but how many words do you know?
But
it's a vibe, right?
So what is it against K-pop then?
What is it? I just don't think that they're looking at it the same way that they look at the fact that they listen to this.
Now, is it because of what they see at face value? Like the first thing they see is the cutesy stuff, and
possibly.
Do you think that's why?
Because we still got some people in our community that's super thug, and it's like I can't. You know what I'm saying?
But it's a big culture shift though. Because at least with like those other cultures, they kind of blend together.
Yeah.
This is a completely different culture that you pretty much have to learn and understand to appreciate.
It's got its own lingo, its own language, own slang.
But my thing is, when you get into it, you find out it's most of us writing it.
And that.
Well, a lot of records are.
A lot of records are.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of choreo.
Well, just listening to the artists speak, a lot of them were influenced by American hip hop and R&B artists. Yeah. So it's just like, the culture influences everybody.
Yeah.
Music, I say this all the time. Music is music. It just doesn't make sense that you would just, if the song is good, it's good.
It's good.
Just straight up. I just don't see what the fight is.
I guess you just can't be, driving down West End listening to Alcohol Free.
Can't do that.
I mean,
I'm keep the buck with you.
And why can't you do that? That's the thing. Why can't you do it?
I want that smoke. You know what I'm saying?
Those people are sitting there, no disrespect, but they're sitting there, they don't have nothing else to do.
Yeah.
But to try to make other people look bad.
Yeah.
Now I can bump that bazooka though. You know what I'm saying? But it's just one of those things, like, it's just so, like, even if we didn't have the experiences that we've had, I doubt we'll be even involved in the music genre the way we are, So, like, even when I have to explain, like, how you get into it, it's like, and funny story. Like, there's a story attached to it. There's a connection that's a little bit deeper to allow us to kind of dive into it. And when we get in there, it's like, wow. To me, it's you're seeing something early. You're seeing it grow. You're seeing it build. Like, I'm more of a fan of the process, like how they do the CDs, the packaging, like the marketing, the sounds, how they all blend together. Like, when you listen to so much hip hop has been kind of like staying the same. At least to me, hasn't really been evolving as much. To see another genre take that.
It's just the way how they involve the fan base, and the way how they like actually make them involved with the process of, the album process, the pictures, the live experience. It's more hands on, and more artists in the hip hop R&B lane. They're kind of reserved. Like, they want you to listen, but at the same time they don't want to connect with the fans, and I think that's a big thing too. Connecting with the fans.
They kind of do, but I want to say it's built into the K-pop culture.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Because, like, I see, like, Rhapsody she'll go live on Instagram.
True that.
Nico go live. Corday will go live and speak to the fans.
Good point.
But it's just, that's kind of it. Like, in K-pop, it's built in. Like, hey, there's a project coming out. They're going on V Live. Oh, there's somebody's birthday. They're going on V Live. Like, that's already built in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just an experience when you purchase a K-pop album.
Oh yeah.
And you open it and you're like, man, what's these books gonna look like? Oh, let me see.
Is
what
that
kind
because
of cards because
we've been into it so long?
I don't think it takes for that to recognize something is dope. And I think we've had this conversation before. Kanye West was pushing for doper packaging and stuff inside. Like, I don't know if he had encountered a K-pop album.
Yeah.
But we've talked about it before multiple times on album reviews.
Yeah.
I think that structure could help hip hop and R&B.
Oh,
Nobody
absolutely.
buys hip hop and R&B albums anymore. So, but the K-pop structure, it makes it cool. There's 4 or 5 different covers sometimes.
Yep.
And it's like, you want to get all the covers because, like, man, they look dope. And then there's individual cards that come in each of them that's actually different.
So, do you think that's another thing? Are you collecting all these K-pop albums?
I mean,
man, what you doing all this stuff? Like, do you feel like some people think a certain way? Because, I mean,
I know some people.
Because, like, for example, like, even going to the K-pop store, like, I know we've gotten noticed a couple of times and everything like that. But I get some eyes looking at me like, this is tall, light-skinned dude doing it here. Like, I get some looks every now and then, but, like, I don't let it faze me. But, I mean, I don't know how you feel.
I feel like I don't really care. You know, I usually just generally think people will probably think it's something negative about me anyway. So if they think that because they see me walking around like at the K-pop store or something, like, it's like whatever, man. Like, I could care less. I'm gonna be me. What, like Itzy said, right? I'm just gonna be me. I'm just gonna go out here and enjoy life. You know what I'm saying?
So go ahead.
And plus, it's the culture. You gotta think, like, early hip hop. There was a culture behind those type of things. Like, it's a K-pop culture. You gotta embrace it. You gotta be a part of it. Like, that's part of the experience. So I mean, nah. If people don't understand it, you know, they don't know. You know what I'm saying? Or they should take the time to kind of figure some things out, dive into another culture, you know, appreciate, you know, something that somebody else is doing.
Is that an issue? Because you know, we black and we diving into a whole another culture.
But see, that's the thing. I don't really see people that like watch the videos. Like, there's some, but in general, I just don't see. It's like people from the K-pop culture are pretty welcoming and like, hey, come on in here. You need to learn about this and this and this. And if you didn't know, that person is that person, that person is that person, you mispronounced that name wrong. You know, like, they're pretty helpful in as far as people in the culture.
Why people outside the culture?
I feel like
is it just because they haven't took the leap? They haven't like, I don't know how to say it. Is it because they haven't really experienced it? They just seeing at face value. They just seeing what's on TV. And I know some people.
It didn't grab them.
Well, the only reason I say that because I remember talking to my barber once. And he was telling me about somebody he knew that did like a channel full of music content. Right. And he said he started doing K-pop. And he was just like, yeah, man, it took off. And, you know, it's actually pretty cool. And he was like, nah, what you mean it's pretty cool? Like, he thought he was just catching on the wave because he saw a lot of K-pop reaction channels and everything like that. Yeah. So it's just like, do this person think that you just capping off the wave?
Oh. I think so.
Because that's kind of what I think people think.
His energy was just like, bro, that you couldn't have been feeling that for real. Like I know you, like, you don't really like that. And I'm like, I was like, bro, that song, Alcohol Free, that you're knocking is probably like the number 1, number 2 played song in my house. Like, you saw the little girl singing along to the words. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I don't know. And you know what? I always go back to this thing that Lupe Fiasco said, and I don't remember if it was in a song or interview. I feel like it was an interview, but he said he said music is like food. You can't eat too much junk food, right?
Right.
So when it comes to a lot of the hip-hop music, there's some negativity there. There's some non-negativity there. You want to balance out what you're listening to. You want to listen to some positive stuff, some happy stuff. You don't want to just listen to all one thing.
Right.
And like, I've always like took that in my head because it's like, if you listen to a lot of aggressive music, when a situation pops off, you're gonna probably come at it aggressive.
Oh yeah, you can't do that.
But I know that during my time listening to more K-pop music, I'm generally more happy. You know what I mean? Because the music isn't really is more of a happier, or at least the people that I'm choosing to listen to, because obviously there's some people in K-pop that cover all spectrum.
They ain't like, man, get that negative energy out of here, man. I'm happy, yo. I don't need you telling me what
I try to be generally positive. That because I notice that's when I'm probably most productive.
Yeah,
is when I'm in space.
I mean, I think that's a good point though, because it's just like, you know, it's such a positive outlook with the music and how, you know, they just want to. It's more like a feeling.
Yeah.
For sure. And most emotions right now with the current, well, at least with the mainstream state of music, because we listen to a lot of music. So I can't even just say music in general because there's a lot of music that people don't know about. But the mainstream music, it just leaves me emotionless. You know, it's just kind of like, you know, that was all right. On to the next one. All right, that's all right. So people don't understand. It's like, give it a shot. Try it. Don't knock it. You know?
I'm not mad at everybody that doesn't accept it just because everybody's not going to listen to everything. Like, I don't like Quentin Tarantino movies. That's probably not going to change no matter what big Quentin Tarantino fan talks to me. I'm not a huge Will Ferrell fan.
Yeah.
You know, I'll say, hey, Talladega Nights and Step Brothers was hilarious, but after that, I don't really care about anything else he did. But, like, you know, that's okay.
Yeah.
You know, I love Coming to America and The Last Dragon.
Yeah.
I know people that are like, both of the movies are trash. And it's like, I think they're absolutely crazy, but it's okay. I think we kind of just got to learn to accept. Like, first of all, you got to understand it's okay for you to like whatever
for sure.
music or entertainment that you're into. And then I think other people need to be accepting, like, whether you understand it or not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because, as you know, like, just regular general speaking, if you watch a black comedy that's written by black writers and then you watch a white comedy, perfect example. If you watch Superbad, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And you watch Friday. Half of that stuff that was done in Superbad, if you tried to do it in a black setting, you might get punched in the face. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you can't lock. They're two completely different styles of comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seth Rogen's comedy and Ice Cube and DJ Pooh's comedy is completely different.
Completely different. Yeah.
You know, but they're both comedy.
Yeah.
Music is all subject. They're all slightly related. They all kind of do similar things.
So what is it then?
What
What is the thing that is getting comments thrown your way like it? Is it just because you black? Or what is
I feel like
what
that's
do you
a
think it is?
huge portion of it because it's just like, bro, it's this thing like you're not supposed to be listening to that. You know what I mean?
Pretty much.
Because to some people, like to him, he's not bothering. Like I'm not. He's like I'm definitely not learning a new language. You know what I'm saying? And then he follows that up with, you know, I don't understand. That's a lot to take in, and everything sounds happy.
Yeah.
Like he's like,
everything sound happy.
yeah, like for him, he's just like, yo, I need something that's hard. You know what I'm saying? I need something that's hard.
But it's out there though.
I can play in God's menu, but
Yeah.
they talking about cooking food. Like he's like, I want somebody talking about shooting somebody. You know,
Well, why does it always gotta be about that though?
because people like playing Grand Theft Auto and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I can play God's menu to Grand Theft Auto, but unfortunately everybody can't.
It's tough, like especially for like myself, like I feel like my family just in general, we've always been like in a weird place. Like when nobody was playing Dungeons and Dragons, my family was playing Dungeons and Dragons. You know what I'm saying? When anime wasn't cool, we was watching anime. You know, like just like so many cultures we were introduced to. I don't know how, but you know, families kind of gravitated toward different things. But like the same way when anime wasn't cool, I didn't bring anime up around my people, right? Until somebody mentions it, be like they say something about Naruto, be like, you watch Naruto?
Yeah, that feeling of like that's such a great feeling.
Yeah,
It's just like you've been chilling with this dude for years, and you bring up, oh, you watch Naruto? Since when? So you know such and such, such and such? Yeah, and it just opens a whole new area. And I feel like that's probably the same way with K-pop as well. I bet you there's probably kids in school, once they find out somebody know K-pop. Oh, you know K-pop?
Man.
What? I bet you that's a feeling.
Yeah. The annoying part is like when you get people that feel like they're mocking it. Because like I remember my boss was like, yeah, I saw BTS yesterday at Door. I was like, hey, that was NCT 127. You know what I was talking about? Nah, bro, they're two different groups. They make two different styles of music.
Two different styles.
but it tells you that it tells you how the culture's kind of spreading, right?
Yeah.
So you're going from where people have no idea what's going on to now like, oh, everything's BTS, right?
Yeah.
So at least you see like, okay, you know, the culture is spreading. And like even for us, we seen it early to where it's like you gotta respect what they're doing. You gotta respect what's happening here. They're making waves. There's a splash. Like this is a vibe, and people may catch on it a little bit later. You know.
That's true.